violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? Tried to shoot a kid's dad.
This morning, a 6-year-old girl and her parents recovering after they were shot by a neighbor, all because of an errant basketball. Authorities say 24-year-old Robert Louis Singletary grabbed a gun and approached a group of children after the basketball from their street game rolled into his driveway.
So, I mean, it's safe to say that midnight basketball is definitely out of the equation when looking for solutions or possible solutions, for the crime in the community. Midnight basketball is totally out of the equation because you have these individuals who have absolutely no care in the world, no respect for life. You're approaching children and shooting out children because a basketball rolled into your yard. The super gremlins are on demon time.
According to police, William White, the father of 6-year-old Kinsley, noticed Singletary and tried to draw gunfire toward himself to protect the children before being shot in the back. He is still in the hospital. Authorities launching a massive manhunt for Singletary, who remains on the loose. That shooting just one of several causing alarm across the country. 20-year-old Kaylin Gillis was shot and killed in upstate New York when the car she was in pulled into the wrong driveway. Kevin Monahan, the man who allegedly fired the deadly shot, appearing in court Wednesday, charged with second-degree murder in
So you see what, with this report here, they spent almost a minute, well, less than a minute on the story of the girl getting walked down. And then they're going to, show other examples of, there's a whole bunch of different shootings of people encroaching on others' properties. And then look, man, we ain't talking about all that. Right now, we talking about this brother right here. Okay. And I think it was, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, and I know people like trying to eat me up in the comments for my opinion, but it's the reality. I think that we should definitely focus on this story because this is way more impactful. It has children involved, and it just goes to show that we are in a dire state right now when it comes to the community, and the frequency of these events happening is astronomical compared to other communities, and until we actually address that, we're not going to see any real change. So I think it was intellectually dishonest for this report to involve all these different other cases and stuff like that. Like, they go on and on. I'm not gonna bore you guys with these other cases because that's not what this story is about. But they spend less than a minute on a story where a man shoots children and her father in the back just because a basketball game rolled into his yard.
This home off Greer Street in Gaston County has been a safe haven for Ashley Hildebrand since she was a little girl.
We've never had anything like this happen down here. Everybody's always took care of our kids.
But that all changed Tuesday evening when she says a gunman opened fire in the neighborhood, shooting her husband and 6-year-old daughter. Hildebrand was grazed by a bullet.
It was very scary. My daughter actually got to come home late last night. She just had a bullet fragment in her cheek. Still scary. But my husband, he's still in the hospital. He's in trauma.
And I'm telling you right now, these people have no privilege. I mean, this woman it sounds like she ain't got no teeth. So there are people who are out here who are, just as broke or broker than individuals in the community, but we're not getting that same result. So you know, it kind of debunks the, I mean, it totally debunks the poverty excuse. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that's not a factor, but, I mean, I ain't gonna cap. She kind of sounds like a meth head. I'm not even gonna lie. And it's just like, you don't see her or Pops out here. I mean, Pops did try to defend himself, it sounds like, but he wasn't the aggressor in the situation. I mean, right is right and wrong is wrong.
I'm doing the best I can. I just wish they'd catch this guy.
Neighbors say it all stemmed from kids playing and a basketball rolling into the suspect's yard.
As soon as I saw him coming out shooting, I was hollering at everybody to get down and get inside.
However, police haven't confirmed those details, citing the ongoing investigation, but have been looking for 24-year-old Robert Singletary since late Tuesday night.
Detectives and were back out at the scene early this morning after basically we had teams out almost all night.
Singletary is charged with 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
This sort of violence will not be tolerated in this county. Our number one priority is to make sure that our citizens are safe.
Hildebrand just hoping the suspect is caught soon.
Just please turn yourself in.
Police challenged by the justice system. They tell me a man who was allegedly out on bond for a violent crime just a couple of months ago possibly could have committed another crime just a couple of days ago. I'm Ron Lee, all new live at 6.
Wow, so he's out on bond. He was out on bond. Guys, this is Gaston County, North Carolina. This is the South. And bro got a bond and was able to menace the community even further because of the lax legal system. Interesting.
6 o'clock, we're going to tell you how you can have a voice before becoming a victim, like that 6-year-old shooting victim.
Affecting where you live, work, and your kids go to school. Violent crime. While police say it's going down, people in our communities have a different perspective.
And I don't know what's wrong with their audio. It's not me, it's them.
We're not getting less phone calls. We're not seeing any less emails. We're not seeing any less rest in peace.
All new at 6 here from community leaders with boots on the ground.
So I think that was very important to highlight. They're saying crime has gone down, but they're not seeing less RIPs. They're not seeing less, people on a t-shirt. They're not seeing less balloon releases. So that just goes to show that the way that they pad the stats in these major cities, LA, New York, Atlanta, New Orleans, Detroit, Chicago, the way that they pad the stats, that the counting system is being adopted all across the nation.
What they're seeing.
And all new at 6 o'clock, problems continue at Cats, but a WBTV investigation reveals they aren't new, just overlooked. WBTV All New at 6 starts right now with a voice you need to hear again.
And I think the bullet came back and it hit me and the bullet went in my cheek. I want him to go to jail forever.
6-year-old's gut-wrenching account of the moment she was shot Tuesday night in Gastonia. You heard her tell WBTV she wants the man accused of pulling the trigger to go to jail forever. It turns out he was not. He was in jail not too long ago. Thank you for watching WBTV All New at 6 o'clock. I'm Molly Grantham. We told you live at 5, police are still looking for Robert Singletary tonight. He is accused of Tuesday night's shooting while out on bond for another violent crime. Now all new at 6, our Ron Lee joins us live from Gaston County, getting new answers from police tonight. So Ron, what reassurance are officers giving the community right now?
Well, Molly, police tell me that they want this suspect in custody just as bad as the community does. And when they catch him, he is facing a slew of charges in the case. In fact, the district attorney's office is planning on hitting him with 4 counts of attempted murder and 2 counts of assault. But the shooting that happened this week that wounded a 6-year-old girl and her father isn't the only thing Singletary has on his rap sheet. Police tell me back in December he was arrested for hitting his girlfriend in the head with a sledgehammer. Then,
woo! And he's out. A sledgehammer, y'all. Remember the WWE wrestling when they had the sledgehammer matches? I mean, he's going to have to lift that over his head and do some damage, man. It's crazy.
and making her clean up the evidence of the crime.
Damn.
That packed on an additional charge of kidnapping in that case. He was given and released on a $250,000 bond. Woo. 4 months later.
And he made that bond. So he had to put up 25 bands straight up. I mean, don't look like he was hurting for money.
He's being chased down again, spending his third night out on the lam. Neighbors I talked to just simply don't understand how the suspect could have been cut free from custody. Please tell me there are things you can do to make your voice heard.
And the police don't set the bonds. We have nothing to do with the bonds.
Yep.
So if residents feel that a bond is too low, they have to let their voices be known, and perhaps that could be a way of changing how the system works.
And
that's so true. People like to blame the police. Oh, y'all let them out. The police have no control over who exits the jail. Now, they have control over who goes to jail, but they don't have control over who's released.
You don't even have to be affiliated with the case. You can make a protest. You can write letters. You can talk to the court, even start a petition. Anything, they say, could change the system. In Gaston County, I'm Ron Lee. WBTV, on your side.
Not a new story. Repeat offenders committing other crimes, at least being charged with them. Ron Lee live tonight. Thank you. Now, you just heard Gastonia police say this part of the...
Yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey, and I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship. Link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga Jinquavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pocket.
Y'all get me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? That is the question this morning from this 6-year-old girl in North Carolina. Police say Kinsley White was playing in her yard when her basketball rolled into the neighbor's yard, and then the unthinkable happened. The neighbor began shooting, hitting the girl and her father, grazing her mother. Police say the suspect is Robert Singletary, and this morning, Singletary is on the run. He is considered armed and dangerous. This is the latest example of a shooting over what seems like a simple mistake. In just the last week, a teenager in Kansas City was shot after he rang the doorbell.
A simple mistake? This is why we gotta really hold CNN to the fire. You can't compare this situation in North Carolina to any of these other situations. The one in Eaglin, Texas, where the girls pulled up into, I think they pulled into someone's yard. And then the brother in Kansas City walked into somebody else's house. He thought he was in his friend's house. This is way different because that guy, he knew they were playing basketball. He probably was annoyed by the kids, playing the sounds of children playing basketball outside. He was probably annoyed by it. And he had ill intent. So for them to even compare this to these other cases, that's why I didn't show those other cases in the beginning, because there's no comparison to this. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Fell at the wrong home to pick up his siblings. In upstate New York, a woman was shot and killed after she turned around to the wrong driveway. Outside Austin, Texas, 2 cheerleaders were shot after one mistakenly got in the wrong car at a grocery store. And now in North Carolina, a 6-year-old girl has stitches in her face all over a basketball. CNN's Diane Gallagher is in North Carolina this morning. Diane, give us the latest on this manhunt for the person who pulled the trigger.
That's right, John. Police say they still do not have 24-year-old Robert Singletary in custody. That is currently an active manhunt in the Gaston County area with U.S. Marshals and police here in Charlotte helping them. They had helicopters out searching for this person. Look, all of this, according to neighbors, started over a basketball. They say that young children were playing basketball and the ball rolled into Robert Singletary's yard. According to neighbors, he became angry, started running out and began shooting. And that is when 6-year-old Kinsley White, her father, her mother, and another neighbor were all shot and injured. Her father is still in the hospital here in Charlotte this morning. His mother telling a CNN producer just a few moments ago that he remains in a lot of pain. He's taking it day by day, but he is terrified right now because this suspect is still out there. Meanwhile, 6-year-old Kinsley, who was released from the hospital, doesn't understand why any of this happened.
Why did you shoot my daddy and me? Why did you shoot a kid's dad?
Looked at my husband and my daughter and told them, I'm going to kill you.
Damn.
Just absolutely terrifying. And again, remember, all of this, according to neighbors, was over a basketball. John, according to records with the police department, Singletary, who again is still out there on the loose, was arrested back in December as well for using a mini sledgehammer during a domestic related assault and then preventing that victim from getting medical care. The mother of Kinsley's father says that she's even more concerned because of this person's past. John?
Look, this is terrifying. My kids, when they play basketball, the ball is in the neighbor's yard more than ours. Really unthinkable. Diane Gallagher, keep us posted. Thank you.
Live at 5. We're going to begin here, though. Have you seen this man? The police say shot a child. The search for him is going on right now. Officers say he opened fire in Gastonia last night. Thanks for joining us here live at 5. I'm Molly Grantham.
And I'm John Carter in for Jamie Bull. Several people were hurt in this shooting. One was a child. Police want your help in finding the shooter, but say you should consider him dangerous. Now, we've mapped out where this started. Gastonia police responded to a call at a home on Greer Street that's just down the street from Sherwood Elementary School.
Our Ron Lee is there live at 5. And Ron, tonight you actually spoke with the young girl, only 6 years old, hit by a bullet. What did she tell you?
Molly, let me tell you first off, this is one brave little girl considering everything that she's been through and everything that she's shouldered to bear. I can tell you that she says that she's doing okay, but considering what police tell me happened, okay, is doing pretty well.
It was just crazy. Just people are crazy.
Anytime someone is hurt when a gun is fired in anger, it's horrible to hear. But when a 6-year-old describes the moment she was shot, it can be simply heartbreaking.
And I think the bullet came back and it hit me and the bullet went in my cheek.
Though this child's grandmother gave us permission to talk with this little girl and for her granddaughter to share what happened, WBTV has decided to conceal the child's identity because of her young age and the traumatic experience. To protect her even more, we're also not showing the bullet wound on her left cheek. But the violence is real and her story important to tell. This little girl says she remembers exactly what happened in seeing her daddy fall.
I couldn't get inside in time, so he shot my daddy in the back.
Family members tell me 35-year-old William White was hit by a flying bullet. He's currently in a Charlotte hospital with a punctured lung and liver problems.
We just never expected it in a million years.
Jonathan Robertson has lived in...
Damn. I mean, this man has just shattered families, man. This is crazy, y'all.
In this Gaston County neighborhood for a decade. This morning he was out looking for bullet casings, as were crime scene investigators.
But we never expected anybody would break a gun out amongst all those kids. I mean, that was just insane.
Robertson tells me the suspect was well known for yelling at the neighborhood kids. It's happened on several occasions, but he says that the catalyst for the shooting was a simple ball rolling into his yard.
They were playing basketball here, and a ball had rolled down that way and had rolled into their yard, and they went to go get it.
Police say 24-year-old Robert Louis Singletary went inside the home and came out with a gun, firing it wildly at neighbors. As parents were rushing to gather their children, that's when White and his daughter were struck. Another woman suffered a grazing wound. An 11-year-old at the home describes what she saw.
And that after he hit my dad in the back, that's when my dad dropped to the ground.
The gunman then fled the area and hasn't been seen since. The 6-year-old pulled no punches when talking about what should happen to the missing gunman who caused her so much pain.
I want him to go to jail forever.
Feelings echoed by the district attorney's office.
We'll be damn sure to be loud and clear when this case comes to court. And the people of Gaston County will see and hear our commitment to that prosecution.
Now, police tell me this suspect in the case is armed, dangerous, and most likely very desperate to elude capture. If you know where this guy is, drop a dime on him, call police right away. In Gaston County, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV, on your side.
Ron, if hearing a 6-year-old child talk about watching her father get shot in the back doesn't hit you, I don't know what will.
Now at 10, we are more than 24 hours into a manhunt for the suspect who allegedly opened fire on his neighbors and their kids. One child was hit in the face. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brian Blakely. Their father still in the hospital tonight. And take a good look of this mugshot of Robert Singletary. Gaston County authorities say he is wanted on 4 counts of attempted first-degree murder.
Now, I do have a question. I mean, even though it looks like this story is kind of hitting the main news channels, how many of you guys heard about this before you seen it on my channel? I mean, it really does need more attention. Let's keep going.
Queen City News reporter Daniel Pierce live from Gaston County tonight. Daniel, you've learned more about why authorities say Singletary is dangerous.
Yeah, a lot of what we've been able to learn just in the past few hours has been coming from these court documents. These right here are from his arrest back in December, to where he is accused of assaulting his girlfriend and then kidnapping her. He has been out on bond since being arrested, and we do know that authorities have been called out to his home more recently there on April Drive. And you couple that with what happened last night, and neighbors say that it seemed as if he had no regard for human life.
He walked through his yard and he said he was going to kill the kid.
Going to kill the kid. 5 words allegedly directed at a group of children.
That's wild. I mean, he blatantly admitted his intentions. Guys, I mean, the community is definitely going to hell in a handbasket. You know, major change needs to happen. Otherwise, it's OV.
Barely old enough to touch a basketball rim by 24-year-old Robert Singletary.
He tried to shoot him.
6-year-old Kinsley White and her mother, Ashley Hildebrand, said the shooting started because one of the neighborhood kids walked into Singletary's yard near the corner of April Drive and Greer Street, all to get their basketball. He was heard yelling at kids, then adults, and then...
We're getting multiple calls in right now. Somebody is saying their child has been shot.
Well, I heard the pow, 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 pow.
Kinsley's father, William White, was shot multiple times.
And when he went to the ground, the guy continued to shoot. He didn't care who he shot.
Dang, that's wild. So he was trying to lay him down just like that. This is a neighbor. You never know who you're living by, man. These super gremlins are on demon time.
Who he killed. He was out to kill any and everybody.
Kinsley was shot in the left side of her cheek.
It was stuck in her cheek. It didn't go all the way through her mouth, or how it lodged the way it did is God was with her.
Yeah.
Gaston County court documents revealed Singletary's been on law enforcement radar since October. On October 4th, he claimed his girlfriend hit him with her vehicle in a domestic dispute. He even took out a restraining order against her on October 7th. Then, on December 2nd, police arrested Singletary. Allegedly, he had hit the same woman with a wooden sledgehammer, then held her against her will until she changed clothes, then threatened to kill her family.
Damn.
He was later released on bond. Police have responded to this area before, but won't say why, only that justice isn't far behind.
We'll be damn sure to be loud and clear when this case comes to court.
Right now, authorities are not saying if they believe that he is still in the county or even in this general area, but they do say that they are keeping a close eye out everywhere, and they do plan on getting him soon. But until neighbors do hear that word that he has been arrested, they say that they will remain awake and on edge.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.